gonna go ahead and say that this is the ugliest palette I've ever seen in my life. This is an ugly palette. Hi, I'm Kate and welcome to my channel. So Sunday has come around again, which means it's time to talk new makeup releases. So I'm gonna scooch on over, leave some room up here to put pictures of all the things I want to talk about today, and I'll be right back. Alright, so let's dive right in with Colourpop. So last week, Colourpop somehow managed a week without a new release, which is amazing. But this week they gave us a Disney collab with Bambi. I want to know who asked for this, because I think no one. I'm not a fan of the 5-pan palettes, but these rectangle ones are even worse than the squares. I mean, one just warm neutral, one kind of soft neutral, and then a purple palette. I'm sure all of these colors already exist in Colourpop's world. I don't like the layout. It looks really cheap. I mean, I know Colourpop is an affordable brand, but this just looks cheap. There's a couple lippies. The lashes do look really pretty, but this is a big pass for me. Right, Bite Beauty is releasing a liquid liner. So I have the Bite Beauty mascara and I love it. It is by far the best mascara I've ever used. I hate that I love it because it is not cheap, but I probably won't get this liner. I use the Stila liner. I know it's like $20, but it lasts forever and it's just a really good liner. I don't see the need for this for myself for a $25 black liner, but I do like Bite's products, so. Right, so Artist Couture is a brand that I haven't tried. They've released a couple palettes that look nice, but this is a spring release. So it's a $30 palette with 8 shades. The swatches look really pretty, but the palette itself looks so bleh. Like, I think it's that teal packaging that just throws me off, because the swatches, I'll post a picture of the swatches as well. The swatches look really pretty and really springy. I don't need it. I have these shades, but the swatches are pretty. I don't like the packaging. There. Right, Beauty Blender is releasing another sponge. I mean, it's just a sponge that's like marbled. I don't see the point. I mean, I've had the Beauty Blender before and it's a great sponge, but it's a sponge and it's not worth $20. No sponge is worth $20 to me. You can get Real Techniques sponges that are cheap and good. e.l.f. has some good sponges. I think most of the ones I use, I literally go to TJ Maxx, and if there's like a pack for cheap, I'll grab a pack and they're usually just as good. So, a $20 sponge. Dior is releasing a translucent powder, so it's a face and body powder, no powder. Okay, so it's a translucent powder with a blurring effect, matte with a radiant finish, gel base, soft focus, $40 each, 10 shades. That's fine. I just don't know that I'd spend $40 on a powder, but if you're into the luxury, sure. All right, Copacetic has a little quad. This actually looks really cute. So it's their March quad, so kind of St. Patrick's, I guess, with the greens. But these are some really pretty tones of green. The shimmers look really pretty. There's a really rich matte. This is really pretty. I don't see a price on it, but it is beautiful. So, yeah. Right, Benefit is releasing a new mascara. So I have tried Benefit mascaras and they're good. They're $27, so kind of the same as my Bite Beauty. This is their Real Magnet Extreme Lengthening. Magnetic technology for lengthened lip. I don't know what that means, but yeah, it's a $27 mascara. They do offer a mini for $15. Mascaras are something that I think going with a mini is okay, because by the time you use it all up, it's when you should probably throw it out anyways, but yeah. Right, Menagerie is releasing a Figgy Glow Blush on the 26th of February. So it's a super unique purple. You can see it kind of blends out into an iridescent, like purpley pink shade. It definitely wouldn't work for me, but it could look very beautiful on really deep skin tones. So I'd be curious to see this like in action as a blush and not just the swatch that they have on here. All right, Becca Cosmetics is a brand that you just don't hear much about anymore. I feel like that's why they released their like clear foundation last year just to get their name out there again. I do enjoy their, I think it's actually a bronzer that I use as a blush a lot, and it's a nice product. They have really nice highlighters. But they have a face and eye palette, which is like 4 pretty light shades. So blush and bronzer, but it says face, yeah, okay. Face and eye palette for $39. $39 for 4 shades of really similar light shades. That's a pass. All right, Huda Beauty is releasing a brow pen. So it's a brow pencil by Huda. $17, there's 8 shades. I mean, it just looks like a pretty typical brow pencil with a spoolie on the end. So I'll stick with my Colourpop or other drugstore brands. All right, Glisten Cosmetics. This is an indie brand I haven't heard of before, but they have these iridescent wet liners. They look really pretty, but I don't see a price, and I actually don't see much information about them other than iridescent wet liners are available for pre-order. They do look pretty though, although the swatches above look very different than the swatch below, so I can't really tell like what it's truly going to look like, but be interested to see what these look like in actual use and not just in swatches. All right, Be Bella. I feel like that's a brand that I've talked about in previous videos, maybe with like a Valentine's launch, but there's like a springy, super pastel palette. Now this is like pastel done in a good way in my mind. Like you have a variety of shades. There's pinks, purples, blues, kind of neon-y green, some teal, some really pretty shimmers, but a lot of good mattes. It's only $12 for the palette, which is a really good price. This is really pretty. It's available now. It was available as of the 18th. And yeah, that looks really pretty. I don't personally need any more pastels. I do have the Shroud Creepy Cute, and I don't think I've let go of my Morphe Ice Fantasy yet. And I do have a couple of Colourpop palettes with kind of pastel shades, so I don't really have the need for this, but it is really pretty. All right, now this is one that I feel like I need to talk myself out of. I did pass on the Kaleidos and Angelica palette, which now that it's gone, I kind of regret it, but the Glaminatrix Cosmetics palette looks really pretty, like really pretty. Some similar shades, it kind of has some similar vibes to the Kaleidos Club Nebula palette, but Glaminatrix has beautiful shimmers. I mean, this looks really pretty. It is pretty expensive. I can't find the price right now, but I feel like it's pretty expensive. I'll post the price if I can find it, because I know I saw the price at one point, and it's not cheap, but it's really pretty. So someone tell me that I don't need it, please. All right, Tatcha is releasing a powder. So this is a protective talc-free setting powder, $48. Again, I'm just not one that's going to spend like essentially $50 on a setting powder. I don't do a lot of powder. I have dry skin anyways, but I know a lot of people really like Tatcha for their skin products and like their primers. Not something that's ever really drawn me in though. All right, I saw this one and like the old millennial in me felt like a tiny tinge of nostalgia. Definitely not enough to purchase this, but Hot Topic is releasing a Blockbuster palette and it's ugly. Like it's really ugly. It's all matte, which is fine. I like mattes. I don't mind an all matte palette, but like it's just ugly. There's some blues, there's a kind of emerald green in there, some yellows, some 3 warm brownish reds that kind of look the same, a black and a, like, it's so disconnected and so ugly. Like, really ugly. This might be the ugliest palette I've ever seen. Tell me if you've seen something uglier and I will compare them, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is the ugliest palette I've ever seen in my life. Regardless of the nostalgia, this is an ugly palette. All right, Peachy Queen is releasing a Texas themed palette. So it's called the Don't Mess With Texas palette. It's 24 shades, $42.99. That's a lot of shades. It's not cheap. I don't think I've ever been to Texas. I've been to the airport, but no desire for me. The shades are fine. Someone needs to come out with a Minnesota palette. That'd be fun. All right, Fourth Ray Beauty is one of Colourpop's like sister brands. They do a lot of skincare. So they are releasing these lip patches. So it's, yeah, just little lip masks to soften your lips. All right, Tower 28, that's another brand that I haven't tried, but I've heard good things about. They are releasing 3 new shades of their blush. or cream tints, I guess. Okay, so I think this is for cheeks and lip. And they look really pretty. There's kind of a, like, they're a very warm tone. There's like a really rich berry. There's kind of a terracotta and a little more of a brown. But these are really pretty. Not something I think I'll pick up. I have enough cream products right now that I need to go ahead and use and not buy more, but they do look really pretty. All right, P. Louise is releasing a lip base. So I can't tell if they're just like lip colors, because they're colors, but it says lip base. Why are they called lip base? So it's essentially a lipstick. Dries down in 60 seconds, vivid, velvety rich matte finish, vibrant color payoff, like just a lipstick? Like a liquid lipstick? Why is it called a lip base? Like, is that just to go with their eye base name? Does it just not mean anything? That confuses me. It just looks like a lipstick. A couple nude lip glosses from Pat McGrath. So this is a little heart-shaped lip gloss. It's a set of 2 for $25. I mean, it's like the way it's packaged, like how would you dig out the product when you start getting low, or is it liquidy enough where it just moves down? I don't know. That just seems so inconvenient. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it. Right, there's actually another release from Peachy Queen. They have the Strawberry Lemonade palette. So this kind of screams more summer to me than spring, but it's basically like yellows and red and pink. I don't know. It's fine. Doesn't look that interesting to me though. I promise this is the last one. So Black Moxie Cosmetics, that's not a brand that I've heard of, but they're releasing their first eyeshadow palette and a bunch of new shadows. So another pastel release. I suppose spring is coming. This also looks really pretty. I like those kind of greeny teal colors, some pretty purples. It looks mostly matte. Some of the singles on the side look really pretty, like the ones up on the right, that shimmery green and kind of iridescent white shade. Those look really beautiful. So the palette is $28 and the singles are $9.50 for the duochromes and the metallics are $8.50. I might check out some of those duochromes because that's a really good price for a duochrome. You know, when you think of some of the brands where it's like 20 some dollars for one shade, but that looks really pretty. So I might have to check this out. I've never heard of this brand and that looks really pretty. So thank you so much for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, leave a comment below if you're picking any of these things up. I am curious to see. But anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.